But let's get into our recaps. Welcome back, everyone. Our recap can be pretty loose. It can be things that you remembered from last session, or the whole campaign that you kind of want to bring. We are kind of reaching a pinnacle conclusion. I mean, like you guys can take all the time you want to get to Castle Ravenloft. We have plenty of other things we can do if you so wish. I have plenty of more baddies I can throw at you. But if for recaps, yeah, it can be as big spectrum as you want, or as minute detail as you like as well. And I always think it's nice to have the opportunity to like look forward, like what are we going to do next, like what are we planning on, what questions we have unanswered, as also kind of a recap kind of topic. All right, let's get into it. And no TPK and you lose speech just yet, but we're getting closer and closer. Tonight we're going to kick off with L Word, if you don't mind getting us started on our recaps.
Hey, hey. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like any other RPG where we had a starting point, and then we made a whole rotation, a whole like tour around the whole land, doing adventures, leveling up, collecting rewards, finding treasures, and then to make it all the way back to where it all started to Castle Ravenloft is. It's just a je ne sais quoi of RPGs where you know where the big baddie is and you feel like you could go there any moment, but obviously if you go now you just get beaten. So yeah, I like that whole arc of traveling all of Barovia, adventuring, collecting loot, and then finally seeing all our work pay off as make our final stand towards Shroud. Glad to see we got all of our fortune, our tarot cards done. I believe there's only one missing, one gone. Whether or not we do it or not is fine, but might be a good way to finish the campaign. But yeah, I love traditional RPGs like that, and glad our story went that way. In terms of the last session, I'll leave it to most of the party, but I like in really hard fights, like while it's not your turn, you're just skimming through your entire character sheet, looking at every single ability and item you have. You basically want to throw the kitchen sink because you already used up all your big spells or abilities already. So you're just like looking and looking at anything that could get you out of this situation, especially when you're like low health. And yeah, horn of cause fear really, the flute of causing fear really helped out. Just any minuscule thing that you just like shrugged when you got it a couple sessions ago. It's like, oh my god, I have this thing, and you bring it out during a big fight, and it's huge. And yeah, not only your character sheet but everybody else's. I kind of felt bad that it felt anticlimactic that I told Winrow that she has a little bit extra damage as a cleric, but if it wasn't for that damage, maybe the diva would have teleported out and we would have had to deal with him a little later. So, and we're having problems that we're never killing our enemies off. So
I
that's
don't feel bad. I never probably would have figured it out.
yeah. So
you can just flavor it as like an emotional thing you've activated.
it's finally it's always happy that you get to see one of our enemies fall because we're having a bad time with all our enemies coming back over and over and picking on us and bothering us. But yeah, I'm glad to see that we've able to help this town. There's no longer any sanctuaries left in Barovia, sadly, because every city we've been in has been, for the most part, destroyed. So we'll see what happens then. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, you still got St. Andrew's that you re-hollowed in Vallaki, but how much of a sanctuary that is. I don't know. But yeah, I totally agree. I think a resource trap fight is so fun tactically, and you find those little small like your pipes of haunting. I did not expect to ever see them used this high level, but it was awesome pull out. And I totally agree. I think I never made that connection, but Castle Ravenloft totally feels like the big back dungeon that you like see in like level 1 of a RPG, and you have to go get some kind of magic key or unlock the god's favor or some kind of like hero's sword, and then you come back and the gates fall down and you have to go into the main place. That's a very good, yeah, Breath of the Wild. It's a very good comparison. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration, and we'll see you next. Next will be Nisha, if you don't mind continuing our recaps.
Baby aggro.
Oh, no worries. Do you want to take a spot for now?
Sure. So, last session we kind of arrived to Blackie and discovering that the Baroness's husband was dead, the son was presumed dead. So the Baroness was, basically completely defeated emotionally and had kind of given up on the city as a whole. So, kind of, further propagating Winrell's current no holds barred, self-destructive type behavior, kind of drove her straight into the abbot and kind of just fucked a lot of people up pretty quickly. And then unfortunately led the party like directly into very dangerous conflict.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you keep saving this town and building more and more of a connection to it, and to come back to this kind of distraught scenario, understandably so. Marched right up to it and started blasting some heads. In fact, one of the drunk bardic two-head Mongol folk that Pie Guy properly noted as a nightmare. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration. And it's always nice to have like those moments where you get to vent your rage. I think a bit as a player and a character. Cool. Let's use next. Next will be Serva, if you don't mind continuing our recaps.
Oh man, it's kind of hard to compare. It was definitely last session, in my opinion, was a Winrell session. It was a very more emotional moment for her, and also just seeing her like go ham. I was really happy she got the final hit on the angel. I mean, of course, it would have been nice to get it done soon, so less injuries happen. But it was just very climactic, in my opinion. Even though it was just remembering that she has this ability. As Elward kind of, as Pie Guy put it, it was we've come a long way. It's always been interesting with Castle Ravenloft from the distance. We've gone through a couple characters, and just lost some friends, gained some friends, and eventually, we're either going to lose them all or we're going to save the ones we've got left. But yeah. And also, last session was really cool, which is I know Nisha kind of got her face beat a little bit, but the imagery of Nisha fighting the angel was really cool, in my opinion. Just beings of shadow and light fighting each other head on is really awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really glad you kind of saw how cool of imagery that is, because you like never get to see a celestial much in D&D, and much less one that's evil and a fallen and have that crazy darkness versus light. Like the darkness was the hero and the light was the bad guy fight. Just yeah, I totally agree. Very cool imagery. Yeah, and hopefully some of our friends will retain or keep alive at least. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration, and we'll see you next. Next, is Nisha back?
No.
Oh, no worries, no worries. We'll save him for last. Dimitri, if you don't mind continuing our recaps.
Yeah, that it was. I thought it was great that as a character thing, it was great that Winrell just kind of like stormed up, just started annihilating people immediately. I thought that was a really cool character kind of moment, just kind of like, like Winrell said, kind of like the self-destructive sort of, all this bad stuff is happening, and kind of having like just a moment where it's just like, just who cares type of deal. And I know Dimitri was also upset about it and was totally just following Winrell into it, knowing that it's, mostly their fault. At least that's how Dimitri feels. It was kind of what happened with the abbot was like their fault for not, giving the correct item back. And these people who were so nice to us, took the brunt of the punishment, and that was rough. And then the abbot fight itself was really interesting. He was super tough. Did not expect him to be a fallen angel. Essentially, that was a cool twist. And yeah, like Pie Guy said, just you're like, oh my, what else do I have to pull out here? Pull out all the stops, just do as much damage as possible. We got to end this, especially when it's just like Pie Guy and Nisha are both so close to being down, and everybody else is looking rough, and it's just like, oh my god, this might be it. This fallen angel might take out the party, but our party has come out victorious once again, knock on wood. And yeah, now it's just time to clean up the rest, any stragglers if there is any. And I think it's probably just on to Shroud next, so that'll
Yeah, this whole land is so well designed to kind of wear on your characters, wear on the being and their mental fortitude. And often when you hit that moment where it's like, this is enough, and you just see red, and that tends to lead to death here in Barovia because it's so dangerous. But this is a moment where we got to see red and live through it and get the vindication. And I agree, totally thought that was a cool moment. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed the fight. Sometimes those big fights can be kind of droning, but I think the thematics of it and kind of the surprise of the Deva and, like you said, the resource trap kind of made that extra layer of fun to it. Thank you. Go ahead and take your inspiration.
It was just crazy. I did not expect that many minions to be any of those like animal folk or whatever they were. I did not expect there to be that.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton. There actually would have been more if you had fought them all the first time, but some died when they've been raiding the like killing the village folk, like when they like caught Dimitri and stuff. Dimitri killed a few. I had to roll to see how many got killed, but I think y'all had 60, or like right at 60.
I'm curious, how many do you remember how many Dimitri?
Dimitri and like the other guards, I think it was something. It was like 12 of them. I think it was 12 they got. So it would have been like about 72 total.
I was just curious how many they were able to take down.
Oh yeah, good many. Dimitri and Anna are pretty well off, pretty stout warriors actually. I mean, they're nothing compared to you guys, but compared to your average folk, they're pretty decent.
I was just sad that the dude who shared my name also passed away.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing. No, I'm picking.
Dun dun.
Welcome back, Ninja. If you don't mind closing out our recaps for tonight. Oh, and Dimitri, take your inspiration if I didn't say.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, just good. The neighbor kids are setting off, I think, fireworks, and I think one of the pops woke the baby up.
Oh.
Yeah, it happens. Even though it's July 9th, damn kids, get off my lawn. Yeah, getting old. That's how you know you're getting old, when firework noises start to annoy you, right? Like, jeez, man, it's old now. Anyways, yeah, for Nisha, there were moments of both as a player and character, as I mentioned earlier, kind of existential with regards to, is doing it's I to a lesser extent, I'm sure it's kind of the kind of thing doctors have to think of sometimes, where it's like, can I do more good through harm, right? Where there is going to be direct damage and significant potential consequence to the entire party, and maybe that turns the tide of battle positively, or maybe that ends in a TPK, in which case, I would be, devastated if through my direct actions and spell casting, I was like, shit, I caused the TPK. Like, oh my God, like I don't, that'd be a rough one to live with as a character and as a player. As far as kind of the future story holds, Nisha is still living with her choices and the course of her actions with respect to the Ember Temple and her brother and her clan and potentially her sister. So she's it's at some points in the story feels like kind of crawling or inching closer toward this final confrontation. These the side quests are interesting, right? For me, they feel very Lord of the Rings esque, where it's like you have a very specific goal, right? Like throw the ring into this fucking mountain, this volcano. But that takes you 14 months in endless side quests, right? And you go forward and you go backward and you go backward more than you go forward sometimes. And it's kind of an interesting arc, and I think it's a very well entwined arc as far as some of the side quests, whether they be for knowledge or for power, in this endeavor. So it's curious to see as we're coming to what feels like a very inevitable head here. It'll be really interesting to see kind of how it plays.
Yeah, you guys are killing it on the comparisons. I hadn't never even compared it to Lord of the Rings before, but it makes total sense in the way that it works. I mean, someone could run it completely different, but the way you guys follow the story, that's a really nice comparison. And yeah, I, I I totally agree. I think you hit like the nail on why the battle side of D&D is so exciting. It's more than just the tactics of it, It's not just the surgery of what's the most effective economically. It's the morals about it too. It's like, what if this bad strategy leads to others being hurt? Not just not just physically, but like angrily, you know. So I think it's a really fun dynamic. But you now have permission to do it to do a friendly fire TPK if you so wish. And I am right there with you as a dad. I freaking hate loud noises that wake my kid up. Just strangle the person that woke my kid up with a loud noise outside, whether it be fireworks or like a motorcycle or something.
Negligent discharge.
Or that.
Yeah, probably if it happens again, I'll have to poke my head out and just be like, damn it! I think and I know the neighbor kid, our son likes to play with him. He's our 6-year-old likes to play with him. He's 13, so every now and then they'll run around the yard and play Nerf guns and things like that. And I'm just like, damn it, Toby, stop with the fireworks! He's gonna have to shout out there if he doesn't come.
That's funny.
Also, though, yeah, if rules is like not my thing. Like, I like the role play and the story and all that, but I don't like obsess over the rules. So I'm happy for you guys to call out if I have, especially too little damage, but too much damage or anything else too.
Well, yeah, I think that's a cool disclaimer. I think this whole group is really good about, I feel very comfortable as a DM in the kind of same spot. Like if something doesn't seem right, I think our conversation about rules is a very good, healthy table on that topic. But yeah, I think for everyone feels that way. But
yeah, definitely.
Cool. Go ahead and take your inspiration, Nisha. Does anyone have any lingering thoughts or questions before we move into session?
I missed the end of the last session. Did whoever was Jaegering Nisha at the end? Do you know if I got the experience awarded at the end of the combat?
Oh damn! I knew the answer to this question way back when.
I think it was Pie Guy, and I think he did it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I just couldn't remember, but like it's in my brain. I'm seeing I'm seeing Deathstroke talk about level 11. I'm like, well, shit, I'm not even level 10 yet. So
Oh,
I'm
no,
like, maybe
I
I
just
missed.
hit level 10.
Oh, you just said 10. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I was well. Sorry, I did the math wrong in my head because you said 7 and 4, and I was adding those together rather than the either or. My bad. So yeah, like in my head, I was like, fuck, he's 11. God damn it, I'm not even 10 yet. I'm so
Also, yeah,
okay.
Lennon, just so you
Thank.
know. Sorry, go.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, Lennon, just so you know, I did take the 4th level of Rogue and took Defensive Duelist.
Oh, nice, nice. Little ability score improvement too.
Oh no, it was just I no swapped out the ability score improvement for the feat of Duelist.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my brain went poof.
That's all good. So just as a reaction, I can add my proficiency bonus to my AC for an attack. So
Oh, nice. I always want that one to allow for like I need there to be like a subset, like either like an additional add-on to that feat where you can like counter, or like some NPC abilities have this thing where you parry and counter, and there's not a player version of that, and I think that's so lame.
I think if they did do it, I think it definitely should be like a fighter superiority die or something, because I think that would totally fall in the realm of a superiority die thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is like a combat master guy, battle master has it, but yeah, I just see it as a monk thing. Like I don't know why I imagine that it's like a, or like a duel, like like a duelist, like a rogue duel, like a swashbuckler.
Yeah, that would be cool too if there was like a feat for it too. Because I didn't even think of that. The monk would be cool if he had that too, just a parry and then like a attack.
Cool. Anything else before we go back to this Slaughterfest and tons of corpses laying about? Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and take off dynamic lighting for you guys on this map, since at least this level of it is pretty wiped. There's a second floor and a cellar if we wish to explore, but I'm just gonna go ahead and indicate, let you see this whole map.
Look at the graveyard out front.
Oh yeah, you guys really haven't explored too many like the surrounding little bits. There's a graveyard over there to the west, and then up on the north as well, kind of a garden and graveyard, where the followers of Markovia rest. Saint Markovia.
I I didn't even see those gravestones until you just pointed out. I was talking about all the dead tokens up top.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of dead mongrel folk. Oh, and these other guys are dead too. Sorry, I don't know why they're. Oh man, so many dead things. Winrel, as your magical mace just smashes into the abbot's body, the various skeletal wolves kind of pounding him with your spirit guardians, and your large spiritual fist smacks into it. The abbot's last words kind of spilling out this golden ichor. He vanishes in a poof of light. You see two things fall to the ground: uh, uh, his mace, and as well as the pendant, the sun pendant of the Morning Lord, the sigil of the Morning Lord necklace, gonna fall to the ground as well. Story's in your hands.
Ugh. Is everybody conscious?
Believe so.
Oh, that was in character, but
Oh, sorry.
no, my bad.
Well,
Uh,
barely.
Bent but not broken. And Joe, if you could see a skeleton be weary, Nisha looks weary, and she'll kind of sit down on this.
I'll grab just like a random like cloth or some kind of scrap or something I have in my bag to pick the item up because I don't want to touch it directly quite yet.
Well, looks like we took care of the little pest problem, but don't know if this means they'll be able to recover quite well.
Did you get what you came for? And Nisha will stand up and kind of.
Look toward who?
Oh, Winrel.
I like to think my face is all splattered in blood. So I'll turn to her and just give a almost imperceptible nod.
Oh, well, that's all that matters.
I think it's fair to say justice has been done.
And I am beat.
That was not the fight that I expected.
I think for the first time in a long while, I feel worse.
That's got to be pretty hard to do.
Thought that was impossible.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, you held your own with him. That was really impressive, Nisha.
Well, suffice to say, most of that battle was not in a manner most comfortable to how I like to conduct myself.
No, it wasn't very comfortable for any of us, but I mean, this angel guy is pretty tough. So maybe our odds are pretty good against you know who.
You did very well outside your comfort.
Well, I think our chances are.
So Lennon, there was something more that I could identify. Is that right?
Oh yeah, there's this sigil of the Morning Lord that was kind of on a necklace, a golden pendant of a
Yeah.
sun, and then and then the mace that the guy was wielding dropped as well, the abbot's mace.
Okay. I actually have a level 1 slot left, so while everyone's collecting themselves, I'll start with
The sigil, the pendant,
Yeah.
actually, the pendant itself isn't magical, but you do seem that it's probably a religious relic, quite an old, valuable, like it's probably worth 500 gold. One of the most valuable religious objects you've seen in all of Barovia. But I'll give you the mace so you don't waste your identify spell. Perhaps you kind of like do like a little magic kind of meter and are you proficient in Arcana?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Do you want to cast Identify on the mace?
Yeah, sure. I'll just turn and toss the relic to Dimitri.
And you also remember that this temple is because you did the whole Mother Night thing, and down in the actual tomb, and down to the shrine of Mother Night, that this is the Abbey of Saint Markovia, who was the prior chosen of Mother Night. So the sigil of the Morning Lord actually kind of clashes a bit with some of the colors and the decorations, and kind of you see the window panes in this temple. Well, now most of them are smashed, but they've been altered to reflect the Morning Lord instead of Mother Night. But as you identify the mace, It is quite a powerful weapon, a holy weapon in fact, and also reflects the sun sigil at the top. It is a mace of disruption.
Ooh.
Sorry, which one was that? Which thing was tossed to me?
Oh, the relic worth a buttload of money.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's gonna be super useful.
Is anyone proficient in religion? Or when really? I think you are, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
Yeah, so that I think you totally wouldn't realize that to like the right temple or the right church, that sigil would be invaluable as a relic. But the actual, like, I mean, if you just sold like a trader's cost, it'd be like 500 GP.
Well,
All right.
I
Does
think
anybody else use mace?
I feel like you should use it.
Yes. Speaking of comfort zones, I think this might be in your hands.
Besides, you're the one that took him down. I think it's only fair. I think you'll put it to good use, unlike he did.
I think maybe the shield I didn't record it as needing attunement. Can you confirm, Lemon?
Oh, which one?
The moon touched shield. You said to treat it just as like a regular +1, so I
Oh yeah,
think it did
it's
not
nope.
require.
Yeah, no attunement required on that one. Yeah, three. You've got 3 attunement slots.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah.
And if you want, we can take a bit of a moment, let you get used to it. Just take a bit of a breathe.
Sure.
And then no sign of the moon touch longsword yet. The ones you guys tricked the cat and dog mongrelfolk with.
Yeah, we'll get it back.
Poor cat.
So I guess, are we gonna let Winrel attune and then just take a short rest while she attunes?
I am a-okay taking a short rest.
Plus, it'd be probably dangerous to keep looking around with our injuries.
I concur.
That. Howard just coughs out a bit of blood from his mouth.
Looking pretty rough and beaten down. We decided to take a rest here in this sacred hall that's now been purged. Yeah. Any threats that would approach you are now slain right now. So you guys can benefit from a short rest, no problem. You do notice that kind of when you settle down and you kind of get a bit quiet, there's a bit of kind of yowling like a cat, kind of an upset cat coming out from the courtyard. Maybe kind of one of you stroll over and look, and you still see one of the Bellevues that was chained to the post, kind of pacing around and kind of yelping every once in a while like a stray, hungry cat.
Oh, I thought our cat friend survived. Else could be hype.
Oh, Zeke, Winrail blew off his head like instantly when y'all got to the gate.
Hey, cat have 9 lives, right?
My
I could
bad.
dream.
The other
I could dream.
The other 8 got taken away by the abbot when he came back with the wrong item.
Ooh.
How's Nisha looking?
That.
Better now after those hit dice, because Jesus Christ, my first
Okay.
3 rolls were ones. That was just
I was
That's
gonna
rough.
say I've still got lay on hands if anybody really needs it.
I'm only
no.
14 away from that.
She's looking. I mean, it's her overall physicality makes it kind of tough to see how she's doing. But you get the sense that after the short rest that she is, she's as good as.
Gotcha.
I also don't remember if my gun jammed last game or not, but if it did, I'll take this time during the short rest to
I think you did have a close call, actually.
because I can't remember if it jammed or not. But as long as it didn't break,
It didn't break. No,
but out of combat, I'm not even sure if I have to roll a die. I think that's just in combat to try and do it as an as a one. Just double check here.
oh, nice. Did you type that up, Winrail, or did like a drag and drop work?
Oh no, I typed it up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I tried to drag it. I didn't think it would work. It didn't, but I might have not done the right thing. So whatever, I typed it up.
Oh no, it looks perfect. That's why I asked if you dragged in. I was like, I'm always a little bit like sometimes those magic items work really well, and sometimes they're like, eh. Here's like a description, like here's like something wacky that's not actually helpful. But no, because it looked good, I thought, wow, okay, that's cool. It looked really good. Yeah, but you guys, your short rest goes well. You see maybe Winrail kind of taking a few practice swings with her new mace. Uh, Quite a powerful looking weapon.
Yeah. During the short rest, Irina Puppet for some reason is gonna keep stabbing at things with the bloody spear. Some weird aggression. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's like Elward doesn't even know why, but just stabbing away at things. But when she gets to Vasilka, Elward's gonna pull Irina Puppet away and look over her body.
Yeah. Give me like a medicine check, or like how are you looking over the body? Like, what are you trying to look for? Just looking over in general?
Yeah, if it's salvageable, because I think Vasilka just got knocked out. I don't think she took like a major blast or anything like that.
Oh yeah, Vasilka is an excellently crafted flesh golem. There's two of them. As you kind of look over Vasilka's form and physique, and the other one, I mean, she's still like clearly different body parts sewn together and very fleshy and has a pretty horrible smell to the air. But as far as a flesh golem goes, she is excellently crafted, and yeah, it's still intact for sure. She wasn't exploded or burnt or anything like that.
Nice. Howard will put Vasilka's body to the side for now.
You notice she's wearing her bridal gown as usual.
Nice.
It's a bit
Yeah.
splattered and stained, but
I'll put her like in the corner of the staircase, back corner, so she's not disturbed. And then when the short rest is over, I tell the party like, I much want to explore a little bit more. Perhaps the abbot might have some insight on stuff we might need to know. Might have some sort of library, laboratory, living quarters, something maybe that will help us in the long run.
I agree. I believe we've started something. We should ensure we finish it and make sure these grounds.
Oh yeah, and also put out any remaining mongrel folk that lives. Sadly, their soul won't go to the next life because of the curse, but at least I believe it's better than living the life that they're living now. Chained up and wild. Probably hurting. I haven't really studied much on these mongrel folk. Maybe I'll learn more if I find any notes on it.
And maybe they kept some other people locked up here.
Prisoners, yeah, that might be a thing that they might have done as well to keep the townspeople at bay.
That or to make more mongrel folk.
If I were the abbot, I'd probably keep my important stuff near me, so probably one of these staircases would be a good start, either going down or up.
Well, we should probably do down for.
Aye, let's.
Sure.
I feel like if there were any more nasty surprises, they'd be down.
I'm gonna pop you guys to this map over here, and the dynamic lighting is off as well.
Who does he have alcohol?
You come down the stairwell and you come to a cellar, a wine cellar. The stone steps descend 20 feet to a cellar that contains 10 barrels of wine and an L-shaped wooden rack packed with wine bottles. You see some of these barrels as actually the barrels that you brought to gain entry into this town. Looks like some of these are like offerings that the townsfolk made to the abbot. As you look about, the barrels in the center of the room are empty, but the barrels on the walls are still full, and they're purple grape smash number 3 on the right side of the wall, and red dragon crush on the bottom side of the wall. And then there's a bunch of single bottles kind of along the rack in the center of the room.
I believe he was saving this vine for the wedding. Yeah.
That or you just took it from the town.
So delusional.
And then you won't mind now if we have some, will it? Just grab a bottle, pop it open, and take a drink.
Roll a d20 for me, Dimitri.
Uh-oh.
You're all good.
What?
It's
What?
as you pop open this wine bottle, it appears to have gone like vinegarized. It's old. Do you want to try again?
Yeah, can I take a look at the bottles and see if any look newer?
Yeah, sure. Give me an investigation check.
Once I realize this one's gone,
I'm sure the
they've
barrels
gone
we
bad.
brought in are fresh.
Sorry, would you want an investigation?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, as you look over the bottles, about half of them are bad, and half of them, a little less than half, are look to be good. But one out of the 20 bottles there has the label Champagne de l'Estampe, the fanciest of all the wine that the Wizards of Vines make. But as you're looking at it, you notice the stopper. It looks like it's a little popped out, and like someone has been reinserted the stopper. And as you kind of look at it, it looks like there's no liquid. In fact, there's some kind of parchment kind of pressed inside the bottle.
I'll open it up, I guess, and
Well, I drink your bottle.
see if I can get the
Smiley
parchment out.
face.
Yeah, it's an I owe you one bottle.
As you pull it out, it looks like a spell scroll of some sort, some kind of arcane magic. Looks to be like a very old spell scroll of sorts.
I'll hand it over to El. That looks to be something up your alley. Potentially.
Drink your alcohol. Here's a spell scroll for your troubles. I look
And-
at the spell scroll. Does it smell like alcohol?
It does. Oh yeah, it smells like old wine.
It's a spell scroll of create alcohol.
Ooh.
I don't necessarily have a high spell list, but I do have Arcana checks. You want me to give you one?
Yeah, if you don't mind. DC is 16.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Anyone
Can
else?
I assist him?
Yeah, of course. As you look over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna ask if I should make a separate roll.
No, you could have given an advantage, so 25 would be perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, usually if there's two proficient in Arcana, it's generally just goes with it. Yeah, as you look it over, and you kind of made a mention of it, maybe in jest a bit, that he had this wine and preparation for the wedding. But as you look over the spell scroll, it just becomes more and more set for you that perhaps that was what was going on here, and that this was a special stash the abbot had specifically for some kind of celebration or a feast. In fact, this is a spell scroll of Hero's Feast.
Ooh.
I've never seen anyone use that spell ever.
Minus the thousand gold chalice that we need.
But
That's
not
the-
with a scroll,
That's
right?
that's the good thing with scrolls. You don't need any of the material components.
Oh yeah, I forgot. No material.
Can afford that bitch.
I've never seen this spell ever used ever, and I'm so happy.
Oh, we're using it.
That is,
Can't
that
believe
is
we're going to Golden Corral before Castle Ravenloft.
That's our final meal.
And then I'll grab a good bottle of wine and I guess start drinking.
The barrels that we brought in, can I check if that's still good?
Oh yeah, all the barrels are still good out of the 10. The Red Dragon's Crush in the south, and the Purple Grape Smash on the east. And some half the bottles are all good, and they're mostly Red Dragon Crush.
Yeah, this wine is fine. There's no consolation for losing loved ones, but I'm sure the villagers could use a bit of a drink. Maybe a little less for their baroness, but I'm sure it can help close the wound a bit. Can I make one last scan of the room? Is there anything else that was
Give
outside or anything?
me an investigation check
Sure.
or perception, just depending how you're searching.
No, just a scan.
Cool. As you look over the room, you feel pretty comfortable that there's nothing else significant in this room. It's just a wine storage. You definitely see maybe like footprints of a bunch of the mongrelfolk that probably hung out here. Most of them kind of rushing up, and a bit of blood kind of pooling down from the stairs. But that's about it. Nothing too much of interest outside that.
Yeah, I believe that's everything down here. I guess the mongrel folk were just down here to set up the ambush for us coming.
It is a bit warmer, down there too, from the wintry outside. So it's kind of a comfortable spot.
Might be a good place for people who lost their homes from town to come here.
No, yeah, I would like it if we turned this abbey to, at least for a bit, to be more shelter. But that being said, we need to clear it out before that.
All right, well, I think then we should press on maybe upstairs.
Indeed, you guys.
That's where the mongrel folk came, also from the ambush, right?
Right, kind of crawling up from the various upstairs area.
You gonna grab another bottle for the road, Dimitri?
Already ahead of you. Just as I'm grabbing another one.
Yeah, you know what? Pass one over.
I'll toss her the one I grabbed and grab another.
Nice. And you can totally pick out which ones are good now. So,
Yeah, that's what I figured. Since you said like half of them are good and half of them are bad.
as you guys grab a couple bottles of wine and starting to really enjoy this this victory lap around the abbey, we head upstairs to the loft and the belfry. The first kind of room we come to, you notice that it's the upstairs is kind of divided in two and kind of catty cornered. So where I pinged you guys is kind of above where the temple is, where a lot of the mongrel folk kind of. So the angle is a bit different, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
But the wooden stairs do climb to a loft with the pitch roofed, and as you kind of look about this room, it's filled with the sound of a bit of beautiful music, a melody so enchanting that it adds a bit of much needed warmth to this otherwise freezing place. A black shroud covers a humanoid shape lying on a wooden table. The music does nothing to stir it. You also see a cot heaped with furs rest in the northeast corner, surrounded by empty wine bottles. An oil lamp burns atop a table nearby, it's kind of silhouetting the draped, covered figure beneath the table or on the table.
Are we able to hear where the music is exactly coming from?
Yeah, several of you have pretty good perceptions, and Winrel has exceptional hearing, I believe. So it seems to be coming from the table itself, something on the table, with the black drape kind of draped across this humanoid-looking figure.
I'm gonna.
Might I recommend you do not disturb?
I don't intend to. I'm just going to take a look, and I'm gonna use divine.
You sense there is no celestial fiend or undead. There are undead within 60 feet of you, but you know the exact location. They're outside and underneath the ground.
That's. Huh. So, this table, I think, is clear, but looks like we might have some more to clear out the mongrel folk downstairs and such around the abbey.
Do you want me to remove the shroud?
Yeah, that'd be best.
Okay, stand back. And Nija will use her kind of mage hand to drift out and slowly pull their shroud.
And who's all in the room? Is everybody in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need everyone to give me wisdom saving throws.
Woo!
Damn it!
Everyone's got a +3 because I assume you're all right next to me.
As you kind of crowd around this table and Nija pulls the shroud off, you see this creature that's made of stitched together body parts. As you look upon it, you recognize these aren't some strange, foreign, undead thing's body parts, but these are your own parts being stitched together to make some kind of cruel humanoid puppet. A small little music box lies on the chest and is playing a very harmonious little lullaby. Oh my goodness. Nija is the only one that fails.
Did you say this looks like our body part?
To each of you, it looks like your own body being stitched together.
Oh.
The rest, Nisha, roll a d100 for me, please. What's your sanity, your madness score at, Nisha?
I haven't really been keeping track, so I assume it's at 0. Only for sake of, unless I was supposed to gain anything from the Amber Temple. I think Jensen was at 1 or 2, but Nisha.
Oh, could be at 0. Go ahead, roll a d100 then, and this will be 1. Oh goodness.
Holy crap!
That's a good thing, right? That can only mean good things are gonna.
Nah, I think higher is worse in the case of Matt.
Oh, fantastic! All right, good, nice knowing you guys.
I mean, I got a 98, and that one was, I think, the worst one I got.
It is a special day when you see a 100 of a D100.
That like never happened.
Especially immediately after a 1.
Yeah.
Well, that was it was a natural 2, but I did roll 3 natural ones on 3 ones on the D6s for my first 3 hit dice. So you knew tonight was going to be a special night.
Oh my goodness. I'll come right back to you in a second, Nisha. The rest of you, you kind of blink your eyes, kind of rub your eyes a bit, and you realize they're playing tricks on you, and that something about this kind of music box is kind of twisting your perception a bit. For what you kind of after you blink a bit, what truly lies atop the table are chopped up body parts, all of them taken from cold, gray, lifeless women, all of them waiting to be stitched into something horrid. And for Nisha, at least it's only your first madness effect. This could be way worse. I need a Constitution saving throw, Nisha.
Fantastic. I guess I'll use my DM inspiration because why the hell not?
Go for it. It's not too bad, DC. That that would have been a failure, but you pass. So this doesn't get any worse than what the original effect is. Nisha, unfortunately, I wish I could give you a fun roleplay madness moment, but you fall unconscious down to the ground.
How about like I clatter into like a pile of bones.
Like the Mario bad guy, the Dusty Bones or whatever.
Tribal.
Yeah,
Dry
pretty
bones.
much. You hear a strange xylophone sound effect as Nisha crumbles.
Well, that's concerning. Oh dear. This is much like Dimitri, isn't it?
Nisha,
I suppose, like, if she's fallen down, I'm gonna be over to like. She's not I imagine she's not actually in pieces, unless she is.
I think it's a suitable thing if a skeleton. We could call it that. Like when you come across a skeleton in a dungeon, they're always like in just a bunch of pieces and then kind of like swing together and animate. So we can go with that.
So everyone's gonna start trying to put her back together properly.
Nisha, in your kind of frightened state, you're just this horrid nightmare where like your skull is resting on the ground, and you see Service standing over you, kind of like holding one bone in one hand, and then like your shin bone, and then your elbow bone, and kind of like trying to shove them together, but shoving them like getting so frustrated at them not fitting, like shoving them to like crack, and then trying another bone. It was a terrible nightmare. But the rest of you see that she's kind of lying there in a pile unconscious.
Um,
This might be. Well, I could try what I did with you, Dimitri, but I don't. Sadly, I'm a bit tapped out in that regard, so it would have to wait a while.
Oh, roll a d6, Nisha. Cool. As the rest of you see the music box is still playing, kind of resting atop these body parts. The oil lamp kind of in the center of the room. It looks like there's like a little bit of a trap door, kind of in the center of the ceiling. Doorway to the north, kind of windows to the west and east.
You think maybe if we destroy the music box?
Not sure that's really going to cure this, but we could give it a
Anyone else got any other ideas? Oh no, again!
I mean, you guys eventually woke up Dimitri last time. I think you just gotta try a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, let's try a bunch of stuff.
Sorry, my dog pushed my power cord, so essentially you're just going through the same thing Dimitri did.
Oh yeah, she's unconscious. She witnessed something horrible and fell unconscious.
Alright, I think it worked before, it's just that Dimitri was weak. My puppets are just gonna, like, cartoonishly just stomp her out.
Like try to wake her up.
Yeah.
You do 1 damage to Nisha, and Nisha, I need a wisdom saving throw. No, I'm sorry, charisma saving. It was wisdom saving throw for the last one. Charisma saving throw for basic. Oh yeah, that's plenty past. Your nightmare kind of changes as you witness. Serva just gets frustrated and gives up and throws your bones down on the ground. But then you see the various just horrid looking, even more distorted images of Elward's puppets, Happy Jack, and a really mean looking Irina, and a really horrid Ada. And they're just, instead of like picking up your bones and trying to help you, they're just stomping on them, crushing into bits. But maybe you don't quite identify with these bones as your own self identity, so it doesn't terrify you that bad as it could.
Stop! What are you doing?
Oh, did she get up?
No, still asleep.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought when you said the nightmare change that I was waking up. My bad.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
Okay, Nisha starts screaming in her sleep. There you
It could be a curse, but like I said, for me to use that again, we'd have to wait a while.
Perhaps that's the safest option. Wouldn't want a repeat of what happened to me.
Right.
You came out fine.
Well, I don't think I can do lesser restoration. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but that's the best I can offer right now.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, as you kind of reach down and touch this pile of bones, Nisha, they begin to kind of swing together and reform Nisha's body. Nisha, you wake up. Your score's still at 1 though.
okay. I will add that to the.
And you'll have you kind of wake up with Winrel kind of kneeling over you with her hand on you.
What happened?
You collapsed and you split apart, and it made a really weird noise too.
Nisha will kind of look down and take stock of herself lying on the floor and kind of oddly straighten out her leg, kind of doing like a, if there was skin, this would be like kind of like popping double or triple jointed bones back into place, but you'll kind of see her like swing her arm and like pull her leg that's like turned like 90 degrees in the wrong direction, kind of crack it out into place. She's like, oh, That's better. Thank you. And I'll slowly. What did we find under the under the? I don't remember anything after pulling off the sheet.
It was perhaps one of the abbot's attempts at creating a bride.
Ah, interesting. I guess as we look over at the table, are we still seeing the same imagery to each of us? Like kind of.
As you look back at the table and the music is still playing, you do see yourself again. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
No. I'm so sorry. I was so hoping we'd leave it before you looked at the table again, or someone smashed the music. Um, I need a D100, man.
All right. Well, it couldn't be any worse than last time. Let's see another 100. What are the chances of that?
That's not so bad. I need
Okay.
roll a D10 for me. Okay, cool. That's not so bad. Oh, sorry. Roll one more D10. Cool. I'm gonna whisper you what happens, and your score goes to 2.
Okay. That was quick.
Oh, good. Meager, you're back.
Feel free to roleplay that how you wish, Nisha. But you still see kind of yourself in the like being like parts of yourself being stitched together on this table.
Oh, what? I'll go over and cover up the body again. Assuming she like looked over and then fainted again. Did she faint?
No, not this time.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps we should move on.
Very much.
Probably for the best.
Yes, I think that.
All right. I've had enough of this place. Let's return to the Baroness.
Are you sure?
You can return to the Baroness. I want to keep looking.
All right. I will.
Cool. You can start heading down. Anyone going with her?
Sticking with Elward. I want to clear this place out.
Winrell, you can start the trek down. It's about an hour a walk, kind of hike down the zigzag path back towards Krezk. Not too bad of a trek, and a lot of thoughts to mull on as you travel down. As you kind of the cliffside is quite high. I mean, it's much higher over. It's like 3,000 feet. Not yeah, maybe just 1,000 feet over Krezk. I think it's just 1,000 feet over Krezk. As you look down at the town, it looks like the town folk heeded your words of caution and all gathered at the Shrine of the White Sun at the pool in the north side of the village. You see most of them kind of standing a bit like ankle deep into the water, and kind of the more capable folk flanking the group. It looks like you can kind of see it. There's like making like a little mob to kind of stay safe as they can. But we'll come back to that reunion here in a second. The rest of the group, as you kind of proceed maybe out of this room to the south, you maybe open the trap door in the ceiling, and it looks like it just kind of leads to like a scout's post in this little turret. You kind of look over the courtyard, and you maybe see Winrail kind of walking through the gates and stuff like that. But you head out to the south, and there's a what do you call this? It's the balustrade, kind of walls is flanking the courtyard. It looks like you go east or west, and each side have these kind of makeshift scarecrows with broken and tattered chainmail. It's those fake soldiers, those fake guard posts that you guys saw back. Like, this is where they're kind of hanging out. It's a 15-foot drop down from the wall to the courtyard. But as you go along, you come through another door on the eastern side of the palisade. And there's another stairwell down that leads towards the cages where all the mongrelfolk kind of were kept mostly. But the first door you come into is quite in ruins. It's like an office of sorts, but it just stands in utter rot and heaps of moldy wood and faded cloth. It's like an office of sorts. It looks to be quite unused.
I'm covering my nose and mouth with like a little cloth. Pick myself. Everyone stay 6 feet away from each other. I think we should investigate the cages, but I don't mind investigating more. Oh, go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. You do see the stairwell down to the cages, and outside on the palisade there was another door, and then there's a third door on the office across the way from the hallway. On that one, you see a plaque across the door. It has 3 titles kind of reading down. It says operating room, all in capitals, nursery, and then the third word is morgue.
I
Mm.
guess this is where they were curing people when this place was actually an abbey. If I were the abbot, I would have made the Soka in the operating room, I tell myself. And then I would look at the party and like, I think the abbot would have done his experimentations in the operating rooms. I feel like Stone, that might be a good place to start.
Right. / place to take care of those remaining experiments.
Indeed. And then if anything, we'll search through all the cages and make our last sweep of the abbey.
Sure. We proceed to the east into the main kind of chambers. This spacious chamber contains bed frames of wrought iron arranged in 2 neat rows. Cobwebs and bits of rotten mattresses cling to each frame. As you look about, as you kind of enter the room, you see almost pale, translucent figures sparsely sitting upon some of the beds. In fact, you see 9 different figures, kind of ghostly images. One of a young boy, one of an elderly lady, and a couple other village-like folk people, like kind of sitting on their bed. Some different ailments. You see the little boy, it looks like he has a broken leg. The old lady's coughing, and it seems like something is bothering her lungs, and so on. But you see the ghost and remnants lying upon these beds of old patients. On the south door, there's 3 doors in the south, and the first one, I'll just go west to east. It's operating room, nursery, and morgue.
I feel like terrible things are waiting in that nursery, so I'll just start opening the one to the operating room. I'm going to try to ignore the spirits lying in the bed for now, unless they call for my attention.
As you open the door to the south, I need a wisdom saving throw. You kind of immediately see a bit into the room, but horrible screams just begin to are filling this room and burst out through the door. It echoes through your ears and in your head and all around. It just, you hear this horrible cacophony of screams.
That all of us?
Just the one that opened the door, or actually, no, I'm sorry. Anyone in the room beyond. So I guess everyone's falling outside Winrail, so I need a wisdom saving throw from everyone but Winrail.
Yeah, I'm using my inspiration for this one.
You're looking at DC 15 on this one. You all passed. You all passed. You've had you've heard much horrible things in your lifetimes, unfortunately. But as the screams kind of die out, the sounds continue, but a bit fainter and more subtle. You hear the sound of knife cutting through bodies, the cracking of bones. You hear operations noises as the haunted memories of this place still echoing through your head. And you look into the room. It's rather empty, except this blood-stained table that stands in the middle.
I thought this was a holy place before things went down, but I think this place had some dark secrets even before that. But it's
Perhaps.
possible the abbot and the mongrelfolk were never even up here.
Perhaps this was a good place and the abbot just repurposed it.
Or he founded and continued what was started.
That is a possibility.
If I look around, is there like any sort of evidence that mongrelfolk were even up here in the first place?
Yeah, you can give me like investigation.
Some CSI detective work.
You don't notice any like oblong, like bestial, like claws and footmarks, but you do see a bit of humanoid tracks that seem to kind of come in and out every once in a while. It's the last time it looks like they're kind of a little bit. There's like a couple set of like a track of footprints that are still dusty, but the whole rest of the place outside those footprints are incredibly dusty. Like no one's been up here in maybe a century outside those footprints, and now y'all's.
Perhaps the abbot made a few conjugal visits, but I don't think there'll be any mongrelfolk up here. I do want to investigate the nursery and morgue if the abbot does leave his notes or any way to fix the mongrelfolk behind, but they might be littered with traps like the past two rooms that we've come in. Do you guys want to make that risk, or?
Yeah. Let's.
Okay. I don't want to see any ghost babies, so I'm going to skip to the morgue.
Okay. As you move down, the first bed you come across, like right over here, is the one with the little boy with this like broken leg. He kind of calls out as you move past. You hear kind of the faint voice. I don't want to take any more medicine. It makes my stomach hurt.
No.
You kind of move down, and the old lady kind of hacks up a bit, and you kind of see like a bit of like green splatter kind of fall into her bed. And other patients kind of mimicking sick behavior or painful behavior. But yeah, you come down to the morgue.
Can I prepare myself mentally to open? That's a sad thing. Like if I know something spooky and scary is on the other side, can I mentally prepare myself?
How would you do so?
Like I tell myself over and over again that this thing is not real, and this thing is only trying to get to my head.
Yeah, I'll take that into consideration. Yeah, I think that's like kind of like building up to like you've been scared over and over, so you're like, come on, this is not gonna be this time. This is not gonna get me. This is not real. It's just a trick.
Yeah, like The Shining when it's about to open Africa through 370 something. Yeah. But if not, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm probably the worst person to be opening doors here, but I'll do it anyway since I'm the one who urged everybody to come. Yeah, I'll open the door to the morgue.
As you open the door to the morgue, it's rather empty except for a solitary raven. This raven is strange though because it's completely skeletal. As the skeletal raven is perched on the windowsill, its head does a complete 180 and rotates around and looks straight at you.
I'm having nightmares of skeletal kittens that electrify me when they bite me, so I'm gonna close the door.
You close the door, and as you kind of close the door, you see this skeletal raven kind of his head rotate back out towards the window.
There's a scary raven in there.
Wait, it was just a raven though?
Are you sure it's just not our friend?
It's a skeleton raven, similar to that of the skeleton cats we saw in the Bearmaster's house in Krezk.
Oh,
I don't know if it's gonna have the same outcome, but I would rather just avoid it. But I'm sure if you want to give it a shot, you could probably take it out with a single shot of your Metoda, if anything. But I would just prefer not to get involved because that was the only thing in the room, right? There was like no books or anything in the morgue.
Yeah, that's it. That in the room is empty outside that. Maybe a bit of piles of ash, but that's it.
I guess the nursery it is.
Cool. Gonna leave that undead bird alone, I guess.
Sure. Unless somebody wants to.
nah, I'm good right now.
Perhaps it just needs to see a friend. Nisha will go and open the door.
As you do so, the ravens, you kind of see the same skeletal raven that was in there. It's perched on the windowsill, and its skeletal head rotates around and looks straight at you, Nisha.
I'm gonna give it a whistle. I don't know if you can whistle without lips, but I'll do my best skeletal.
Yeah, totally. Give me a performance check.
I'm surprisingly good at these.
It is a beautiful, beautiful note, pure skeletal whistle. As it pure, like kind of a bone flute kind of sound comes through, and you see the raven kind of squawk, and its whole body then rotates around to match the same angle as its head, and it squawks again and speaks out in the most beautiful, deep, pleasant Morgan Freeman voice. I can't do a Morgan Freeman voice, but I wish I could. But it says, I will curse you. I will curse you. 3 times.
I'm gonna step forward and like put out my finger like you would try and get like a bird.
Yeah, it can fly. It flies off and becomes right for your finger, and you see like as it's flying towards your bony finger, its beak like opens up like it's gonna try to bite your finger.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I'll let it. I'll see if I can get it to.
It'll try to beak you, but miss. Or if you want to take it, you can. You just do 1 damage. No matter what it hits, it'll only ever do 1. But it like bites into your finger a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll try and gingerly grasp it, not like aggressively, but like try and get it to. I don't know, not.
As you grasp it, it kind of twitches and twinges and tries to. It's like it feels like something like It feels like something evil and compulsive beyond nature is trying to like twitch out of your grasp and like continuing like peck on you. So it'll like peck you again for another 1 damage. And it keeps kind of calling out with that very sweet, calm voice. I will curse you. I will curse you.
Nisha will look back at everybody. Can we keep it?
I mean, as long as you clean up after.
As long as it doesn't curse us.
We don't make much of a mess, do we? And I'll I'll give it a little nuzzle with my skeleton.
It then nuzzles you back, but with the sharp point of its beak. You'll take another 1 damage.
literally getting pecked to death. All right.
Maybe you should ask it if it has a name.
Not a bad idea. Do you have a name?
I will curse you.
I will curse you. Can I call you Curse for short?
I will curse you.
Oh, it's one of these.
I will take that as a yes, and I will. I'll kind of. I'm trying to think if I have anything to. I guess I have an explorer's pack, so I have some rope. Yeah, because I kind of want it to stop fighting me. I guess I'll tear off a strip of like a strip of my robe, and just see if I can kind of wrap it around its beak.
Yeah, you can give me like a what is it? What is the hand one? Okay.
Animal handling or sleight?
Oh, sleight of hand. Yeah, sleight of hand.
Okay, cool.
Because
That's
it's.
a animal. Not...
Oh yeah, it's not like you're not like taming it or anything. It can't be tamed, or not yet at least. But you can do it so that you don't like break it. And you tie it up. You'll take like 1 more damage as it kind of pecks you 1 more time, but you're able to like bundle
Okay,
it up
sure.
where it no longer poses harm to you. Do you want to keep its beak
Okay,
like where it can still like open and close?
Yeah, I want to secure it in a way where maybe it's not like doing 1 damage to me.
Oh yeah, you can successfully do so. You can secure it. But if you leave its beak like where it can still move, it's going to continuously. It's like a broken clock, broken alarm, a record. It's going to continue saying like.
Okay. Maybe I'll just wrap. Maybe I'll wrap the beak for a little bit then, just so it won't. I'm guessing it would be pretty negative to stealth checks for a while. So I'll just wrap the.
Yeah, you can do so with the 22. I'll give all that to you. Yeah, you totally secure it. You hear like a little bit of clicking and clacking as it's like trying to escape, but not much.
Gotcha. I'll kind of just tuck it under one. I'll tuck it under one arm like a football and staff in the other, and say, "Well, I suppose I have a new."
Well.
Wow.
Whatever.
If it comes at me, I'm afraid you're going to lose your pet.
Whatever keeps you sane.
I'm afraid it's already lost. But I'll allow myself this indulgence. Shall we on?
Nursery it is.
Oh
man, here we go. Yeah, we have a new pet, a very harmful pet, but a new pet. Who's opening this door?
Ada.
As Ada opens the door, you kind of come into a room where you see the wreckage of old cribs. You search, your eyes search through the room, looking to see anything that's kind of standing out. A very empty room again, but the light with the light from outside reflects in a strange way, and the window, the stained glass window at the end of the room, kind of catches you off guard. It appears to be a nun, like the imagery is a nun in white robes, kind of standing there. As you look at the stained glass imagery, the nun looks back at you and gives you this hideous smile of pointed, jagged devil's teeth. And I need a wisdom saving throw. And I'm going to give you advantage.
Right. No.
I need a D100. And what score is your madness on?
I got a 1.
Okay, so this will be a 2. A D100 and 2 D10s. You guys have been rolling high on these madness charts. Oh, goodness. Oh my goodness, Elward. This is an awful thing. This is an awful thing. Okay, I'm gonna whisper to you what happened, Elward, as you kind of see this mouth, this toothy devil grin of the white nun kind of grin at you. Feel free to roleplay that out however you wish. That feels almost as bad as Dimitri going blind. Oh. The other three of you, you see Elward kind of open the door and look into the room. Elward, how are you behaving?
Elward?
Edward's gonna look at you and mouth something, but no words escape.
I didn't hear you. Can you speak up a bit?
He's gonna mouth words at you again.
Are you feeling all right? Would you like my blood to come?
Does anybody else not hear?
This is not good. Elward, can you talk at all?
What about if you tried to talk through your puppet?
Please not, Happy Jack.
Happy Jack mouths words, but nothing comes out.
Oh dear. All right, we're done here. We don't want to go through more of this. Does everyone want to leave?
Yes, we might as well. Hopefully the spell you have can fix our word once you get.
Howard's gonna write with the dust on the wall. Check the cages.
Right. Let's do that before we go.
You're able to come down these steps over here, kind of in the ruined office room, and towards the cage side of things. Sorry. Man, this has been a mental danger, emotional and mental danger of a place. As you come down to this little foyer, it looks like to be another like kind of ruined office. There's a remains of a desk and a chair. Both have been smashed to pieces, and you see this dark passage that's north to south, and a lot of doorways. All of them open now. All these barred doors are open, leading into 8 different rooms. What used to be kind of just a huge cacophony of mad gaggles and horrid laughter and bestial orders. Still, the orders are still there, but yeah, missed out on some madness. But you hear just a bit of murmuring left. It seems like as you kind of pace up and down the hallways, the only room with any evidence of mongrel folk left is this one here, the third on the right. Most of the other cages you kind of see are just full of filth and kind of feces and like bones and stuff like that. Looks like bestial cages. But as you kind of make your way down to this one, you see a couple of young mongrel folk. In fact, mongrel folk babies, kind of cradling in these broken debris and kind of like a makeshift nest of sorts. They're a bit whimpering and crying, and kind of some like one rolling along on the floor, one kind of whacking the floor with some small sticks. There's 3 young like infant mongrel folk.
Do we have to? Oh, Lord, I know we said we should clear it out, but
And they have no life ahead of them except for what was already done.
I mean, but if we take care of Strahd, if they can leave Barovia, surely there's something for them, right?
As you look at the 3 infant mongrel folk, the first one, kind of the biggest, the one beating the sticks, looks like it has a very strange eyes and ears. It looks kind of like a batish. The second one has gills in its necks, and it's kind of, you see like it sticks out its tongue and it flicks way out. It looks very froggish. And the last one, let's see, which one is that? The last one has 8 legs instead of just 2. It's very spider looking.
Even if we manage to beat Strahd and these things leave and go live a life, they're just going to be like the other mongrel folk, terrorizing somebody.
I mean, will they? Wasn't that just because the abbot made them do it? If the abbot's dead, he can't make them do that.
But if I remember correctly, and if the abbot was telling the truth, then this family was cursed for helping Shroud, and they will remain cursed, and they're basically mindless. I think the abbot was taking advantage of that.
You can give me an insight check. Any of you, if you want to give me an insight check.
I'd like to.
Dimitri, Dimitri's had children, right?
Yeah, one.
Okay. You don't really pick up on this here, but maybe you haven't been around young that much in your life. But Dimitri, you've raised a child before, and you kind of know the behaviors, and you can definitely tell that these creatures are a bit, bestial. Not totally there, but they seem to be just behaving like infants. Nothing out of the norm. Maybe like a little aggressive, but they seem to be behaving very similar to humanoid infants.
I don't think we should let them out into the world. Who knows what kind of damage they could do.
Is everyone in agreement?
I think they're kind of cute. Perhaps we should let the townsfolk decide.
Elwert's gonna bite his thumb and with his bloody thumb right on the wall, so they might torture them.
Yeah. Right.
Better to kill fast and painless. And then bites his thumb again. Then I don't know, burning.
Most blood to come out of a finger.
Dimitri will sigh.
Small letters. It's not like serial killer big words.
We need to get you a pen and piece of paper at some point.
Dimitri will sigh, put down his pack, pull out a few sheets of parchment and the pen that Shaoliki gave me, and just be like, "Don't lose this pen. Here." And hand over a couple of sheets of parchment and the pen.
Wish you would have gave me this before I bit my thumb.
I didn't know you were going to bite your thumb. Honestly, thought you had your own pen and paper. Anyway.
Fine.
If no one here is if no one's comfortable doing it,
Oh, I do have a pen and paper. And with an inkwell, I would have wrote down the word.
I do have a pen and paper after I bit the tip of my thumb off.
Never mind. I read content, please.
I'll take my stuff back.
Yeah.
All right.
If no one...
I'll draw like a picture of like the back of the head, and then like X mark the spot.
That's a bit macabre, but I'll do it. And I'm just gonna pull out the greatsword and just kind of one by one try to make it as quick and clean as possible.
You don't need a greatsword. We could use a dagger.
Well, I mean, it's more instantaneous that way. It was what I was thinking.
You did 3 in 1. Line them up.
I'll put up my hand and be like, hold on. If you're not comfortable with it, I will. I don't want to force you to do this.
Ada, with one word, raises her hand and only speaks one word. Same.
All right. I'll let you do it.
And I'll kind of try and do it in a more peaceful manner
No,
instead of
say that
just cleaving them with a great sword. Yeah, no, I'm gonna pull out the dagger of venom and just gonna try and do it, like quick, painless. I don't really want to describe,
Yeah, no, you don't have to. You totally don't have
but
to.
just something like quick and painless, and like not, not too, no more awful than it needs to be.
Yeah, this is a very difficult choice, a terrible scenario. Indeed. I need 2 wisdom saving throws. Um, Actually, start with 1, Dimitri. You can you can totally you're successful in slaying these infants.
This is what takes me out.
Okay, the first thing was a pass, and now I need another wisdom saving throw as you kind of this memory is going to be scarred on your conscience for the rest of your life. Whether or not this was the right choice, it's still such a difficult decision. Whether or not.
I have a
Oh, go
I
ahead.
have a question. Does one of my new madness flaws cancel this out?
Oh my god. Yeah, you're fine. Never mind.
All right.
I'm so sorry for not picking up on that earlier. Yeah, you're fine. You're totally fine. Nothing happens. You do
All
it.
right.
You're totally fine.
Is one of your false kid killer? Oh no.
Oh me.
It's not quite that terrible.
Yeah. So we slay these mongrelfolk infants, and the abbey is truly searched over, truly emptied, and we've picked up some mental and emotional scars along the way. Uh, Maybe after this we'll start to head down and meet up with Winrel and the townsfolk. But let's take our break with that kind of.
Wait, is that
Oh, go ahead.
I assume
Is
we
that-
killed this one, right?
the one out in the courtyard?
Oh yeah, do you guys want to kill that one? Those.
Yeah.
For sure.
And there was that one down in the well too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Those guys have been easy peasy, not too morally challenging, just straight up monsters.
You can use your great sword on those ones.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you guys each. Let's do 550 for roleplay and surviving. No one's gone totally insane yet, and kind of solving some of the issues here. So each of you get 550 XP, and we'll take our break and return with Winrel reuniting with this news of what took place here.
It feels like the dirtiest 550 experience I've ever earned in this.
It's mostly roleplay. It's mostly for roleplay.
We earned it. We earned it. This is
All
the
right.
first time you killed children to get some EXP.
That's what I'm saying. It feels like dirty XP.
I think we killed like 12 pups in the Werewolves Den and
Oh yeah.
a couple of kids in the tent when they were older.
Oh yeah, but those were only like robot puppet things. So.
We still did it.
All right, but I'll see you guys in a minute.
Oh, welcome back, everybody. Cool. We'll return to session as you guys are headed back to Krezk, and we'll pick up with Winrel at the Shrine of the White Sun, kind of returning to this scared and pretty nervous villagers. The Baroness, Anna Krakoff, kind of leading the charge after we re-emboldened her a bit. So the pool, the kind of the holy ground, this pool that the Temple of Mother Night, the Crying Temple, was at, is up here in the north part of the village. But as you approach Winrel, you notice that that pretty much the entire village is there. That it's about half the populace that was there last time you visited Krezk, but you notice most people that are missing are the elderly, and some of the adults as well. That all the children are there, and most of the youth as well. Seems like some of the casualties either were targeted, or for some reason a lot of the most the elderly are kind of missing. Evidence of the losses being similarly targeted a bit. But what do you do as you approach this group? You see Anna kind of wave, but she doesn't seem to put anyone at ease. Well, they're not threatening towards you. They're just staying ready.
It's over. The abbot's gone, and all of his unnatural fiends.
You see Anna's shoulders kind of relax a bit, and some of the children and the townsfolk kind of begin to hug and cry. Some just overcome with emotion. And Anna kind of strides up to you. And the rest of your party, what? Are you the only one?
No, they're all fine. They chose to hang around and investigate the place further. But I wanted to rush down here and let you all know to give you peace of mind. It turned out the abbot wasn't exactly what he seemed to be, but it doesn't matter now.
Whatever he thought of himself, surely he was a monster. People, please, you can return to your home. Our hero, our savior Winrel, has brought peace back to our village. Rest, sleep. Hold on to those that you still have. And then she kind of turns back to you. Thank you, Winrel. You have returned a semblance of life and hope to us. Thank you. I don't know how to express how much this means to me. We have suffered losses, but perhaps we will suffer no more.
About your son, unless the rest bring back news, we didn't find him or sign of him.
Oh, if that is how it is, I've grieved for his loss for many days now. I truly believed his fate to be the same as Dimitri's in my heart for some time. In fact, I never even expected him to be returned to us, and when he did, I was joyous for but a moment or two. I don't believe my son ever returned at all. It was merely a shell. I see truth in that now. It is okay.
Is there anything else that we can do other than, of course, rid this land of Shroud once and for all? That is my only goal at this point. But I do ask something of you, and it's a big favor.
Certainly, certainly. We are in our debt for many generations to you and your descendants.
Will you let my family live here in this town? I know you directed us to go and kill all the wolves. And we did. We killed all of the bad ones. And all that's left is children and their singular mother figure. Would you let them come be here? Would you give them like maybe just a section of the town where they could be?
You see her struck a bit. She only falters for a moment, kind of demonstrating that Anna's a fairly strong woman and very conscientious that you wouldn't of why you would ask this kind of thing. But she kind of looks at you knowingly. If you trust them, then I can trust them as well. The fellow villagers. Oh, go ahead.
There is a cure, and I'll take out the goblet, which I assume I have like some plastic wrap over at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I'll hand it over to her. And I'm sure there's more where that came from. We retrieved it at the bottom of the lake. But please, I feel very strongly, I do not want the cure forced on anyone. They should be given a choice and accepted here if you would allow it, irregardless.
Well,
They are in my charge, and I do not expect to return from Castle Ravenloft.
I see. I hope that wish doesn't come to pass, but I feel for my fellow villagers. I think that they might be a bit fearful of these newcomers and their bestial nature, but I will do what I can to make them accept them. I think our land could use a bit more unity and common ground. And we do have quite a few vacancies and plenty of room to spare now. He kind of makes a dark joke, but this cure, I will offer it as you have suggested. You found it here in this pond.
That's right. I think a lot of them, it's the only family they've ever known. I think if they were to be welcomed into the town, some of them might make that choice to return, give up their unique abilities.
I think that would certainly make the villages more accepting of their arrival, but as you have wished, I will not force it upon them. I honestly am a bit skeptical, but if you say it is a cure, I will keep my eyes open for the first taker. How do you plan to communicate this to your family?
I will let them know before we depart. Just remember, try to remind the townfolk all of the things that I was able to do here, because I am one of them.
Yes, I've had my suspicions for some time, but you're different. You may not think you are, but we can see it. Your body can see it. Your family does as well, I'm sure.
Yes. Well, remember, they're children, and they could be of great asset if raised as part of this town. They'll fight to protect you, as I have.
Wise words. Our future lies in the youth and the strength that they can grow within themselves.
I hope that with the abbot gone, you might welcome back any elderly that were sent on their way.
Certainly, it is not something any of us wished to have to do. We will not have to divvy out the rations anymore, and hopefully no more of our pigs and farm animals will be taken in the night.
Yes. Well, if you don't mind, I'll just sit and rest for a bit while I wait for my comrades. It's been a trying few hours here.
Certainly. If you wish to wet rest, you may take residence in my cottage any time you wish. It is a bit empty nowadays, anyways. And,
I'll just, for now, I'll wait here, but I appreciate the offer. This is a comforting place to me. And I'll, motion to the lake.
certainly, it does feel safer here than anywhere else in town. Thank you again, Winrel. We will do our best to repay what you have asked. And she strides off. She looks like she has a mission, and kind of begins to go make preparations, but also kind of celebrating a bit of relief of what the deeds you've done. After a bit of time, the others kind of return down off the abbey, and you guys all meet back up at the Shrine of the White Sun at the pool. Winrel, you see the four kind of coming down, a bit of strangeness. Maybe you see Nisha kind of clutching the strange kind of wrapped up bird, maybe, and Elward kind of making a lot of hand signals as they talk to him. And yeah, what do you guys do as you all rejoin?
You made the right decision not tagging along.
I wanted to get word to the Baroness as quickly as possible, and it didn't seem like there was anything left there for me.
Well, look, bird. I'll hold up the raven.
Ah, yes. That is it's a lovely pet you have.
Now we can talk too.
But he's sleepy, and she'll kind of go into like a petting sort of coddling, pretty bird, nice bird, sort of kind of coddling on the bird.
Yeah, the bird is kind of like rattling in its bonds as heavily as it can, but restrained quite well.
I see.
And, well, some other. And several will just look to Elward and just kind of like shake her head. It's hard for me to say, but it's a lot harder for him to say.
I am. And then eventually, Just tells himself it's too slow. He's gonna write down on a parchment. I'm a man of few words anyway. And hold it up.
Yeah, you see Gelward cast a few cantrip spells as like one by one little words came out, and then he gives up and writes it out.
And then I'm gonna write down. I'm just here to grab a few parts, and I will go back up to the abbey.
You're
I see.
serious? You want to go back, Elwood?
I have things that I must do. Period. Anyone is welcome to come with me. But I am off to the general store, or what's left of it.
I need to stop by the den before we go. So, it sounds like Elward has preparations here anyway. Let's rest the night. Maybe I can fix Elward and your bird. And then I'll leave first thing tomorrow.
Indeed, I can't cast spells while I have this ailment anyway.
I'll go with you to the den if you want. But it's not best to go out here alone. Now that Shroud especially wants us dead.
No. No, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so we have the day. I think we went out there kind of early. We kind of stopped at the Baroness's house, and then headed up. But I mean that Slaughterfest took some time, but it was maybe a couple hours, probably about midday right now. When really going to immediately take off towards the den?
Serva, do you think you can cure Elward tomorrow?
Mm.
Or do you need me to stay?
I can try. At worst, he might just go one more day.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll go ahead and leave.
Cool. Roll a d20 for me. No need to roll survival. You've found the den now. You can make your way. You've been there a couple times. Cool. No random encounters as you make your way to the den. We'll come back to that. Elward said he wanted to visit the shop.
If it remains intact.
The faux blacksmith shop is still up. It's still running.
Of course, you would leave that one running.
The poor old lady. I think her name was Jenny. Man, I've misplaced my notes on it, but
Yeah, that was my date.
Yeah, Jenny's Tinker's shop. The what do you call that?
Like a trinket shop.
Yeah, like a trinket shop. You know, like what's old dusty stuff everywhere, like an antique shop.
What, a pawn shop?
Yeah, like that, like the antique trinket pawn shop is.
This is Jenny, and this is my pawn shop.
It appears to be closed and a bit boarded up, but you remember that Jenny was kind of pushing into her later years. Yeah.
So she was probably kicked out.
There was a clother as well, kind of made very basic clothes. It was a married couple, and they're still there and open. They actually have one of the orphans you guys brought from the funhouse. No, actually two of them. I'm sorry, they have two of them.
This town owns me a lot anyway. I'm just gonna break into Jenny's shop What are they gonna do about it? To be honest.
You know, there's not even enough people. It's such a rural village anyways, and now that it's like at half populace and everyone is kind of resting and enjoying their time, um, yeah, you can do so. It's just a couple of boards and nails, and you can break in no problem.
And I'm gonna start grabbing stuff for components to make puppets and stuff, and I'll leave Jenny a note saying, "Hi, you probably don't remember me, but we went out to the lake. Uh, I, I heard you were kicked out, and thanks to the efforts of me and my friends, I'm sure you will be brought back. Here's a bag full of gold I went shopping while you were gone. Hope this gold will help continue running your shop, because I enjoy your shop." And I'll leave her a handsome bag of coin purse of like 50 gold.
Roll me a history check real fast.
Thanks for the cookies. History. Haven't rolled this one in a while.
Yeah, you would remember quite well that this place doesn't really doesn't really have any use for gold. That they're much more like traders. That like you traded Jenny for a date for all the goods last time. That items or experiences are a much greater trade than gold.
I will come back and trade you my experiences and how I heroically defeated the abbot and so on, and get cookies and so forth.
Very nice. A promise for some second dates and stories and stuff, perhaps. And yeah, it's an old antique shop, and you just need like cogs and screws and wheels and things. Maybe you have to break down a couple different pieces of like old toys and blinksy toys and things like that. But you'd find enough pieces to kind of find what you need.
It's nice. Then I will also stop by the clothing store and buy like a simple dress or something. Oh yeah, there's the Ahsoka has the bride outfit, but for my next puppet, I'll just have simple clothes.
Yeah, you can approach that store, and they seem to be happy to trade. And the husband of the couple kind of presents this kind of coral dress with really pretty floral design on it. It's one of his newer dresses. He's quite happy with it. Offers it as a trade.
Yeah. How does the couple feel about my dire wolf pelt?
Oh, as they look in, they kind of look at your white dire wolf pelt, quite admirably, and kind of maybe one of the orphans kind of looks up at you. Hey, that's pretty cool. That looks warm. I could use a new blanket. It looks very warm. Mom, Dad, can we get that? And then the husband kind of looks at the dress and looks at the pelt, and then looks at the kid. I guess so. Yeah, that does look pretty warm. Do you mind the dress for your direwolf furs?
Sure. Or we'll take out the pelt, and I think it's a really heavy pelt. I'm just gonna drop it on the kid.
The kid definitely, maybe unless it was the big kid, but definitely would fall to the ground and like kind of bundled in this soft blanket and kind of giggles with joy. This is so soft.
Probably a little splats of blood over there's somewhere.
Oh, the wolf must have had spots. Red spots. That's cool. I've never seen a wolf like that.
Yeah, well, I can't say hella, but I obviously almost died 3 times in that outfit, so there's a lot of blood there.
Yeah.
But the trade is done, and I swipe the dress and give him a bow when I head out.
Oh yeah, I mean you get the sense this place is kind of rough and tumble, very rural. Cleanliness is not expected by any means.
Yeah, so the couple could feed the kid. I'll throw 5 gold on the table.
Oh, oh, that's not necessary. We nothing to spend this on, even if we did have a use for it. Thank you,
As
though.
a player and character, I whimper that I finally have gold to spend in this campaign and it's useless, and I can get my gold back.
Only useless here in Krezk. Unless you go talk to the blacksmith.
Oh no, I'm gonna leave that to Dimitri. I'm sure they have a lovely reunion coming up if Dimitri wants to spend time there.
Cool.
But yeah, I have some stuff to do later, but everybody else to do their thing.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any takers of doing stuff in Krezk?
We're all hanging out. I would go to the blacksmith just to see if I can get some more.
Oh, like to use the forge?
Yeah.
Maybe he grew a heart after this dire attack.
Maybe.
You traded him some kind of valuable weapon, didn't you? You gave him.
I gave him a couple. I gave. I did. Oh no! I gave him.
I think it was like an armor.
Oh no! I gave him the boomstick or the boom gun.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And then I put his emblem on. I think the armor I'm wearing now, and the boom.
So he could claim credit. I remember now.
Yeah, because you originally wanted me to put it on Matilda, and I said nah.
Yeah, you come into the blacksmith shop, and he's cocky as always, and kind of remembers you, and you kind of see the half the blacksmith has kind of been rearranged as little target dummies, and you see the boomstick kind of like very haphazardly. Looks like a negligent discharge might happen any second. Kind of sitting. Sorry, Matt, but you kind of see the boomstick haphazardly laying about, kind of over in that. Looks like he's made like a shooting range, very, very dangerous shooting range in half of the blacksmith shop. Welcomes you in and kind of asks, yes, well, what can I do for you today, friend?
Oh, I was wondering if I would be able to use your forge.
Oh yes, certainly. Would you like to take a little bit of a new game I have here, target practice game? It'll be 1 purple rupee. Well, if you don't have any rupees on you, perhaps a trade in fact.
What's the game?
It's a well, you see these targets. I have a set of targets up here, and if you can hit bullseye on them, I'll give you a prize.
What's the prize?
It's a magnificent prize, a special prize, a grand prize. No one's ever won it before.
All right. A gold to.
I don't have any use for gold. Do you have any gems? I've been looking for gems, and I've been putting them in my works. You know, I've been practicing my smithing, and gems make things look nice.
No, I don't have any gem.
Oh. I guess I could make some gold armor. That would be effective, wouldn't it? Gold armor? Yes. Oh, how about 5 pounds of gold?
I don't even think I have that. I'm pretty sure that's.
Yeah, I think that's a lot.
It's like 200. It's like 250 gold. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure it's 50 per pound.
You get the idea. He doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. He's just naming a number.
Well, one, I don't think you want to make armor out of gold. Gold is very malleable, and it's not going to offer very much defense. But you can use it on inlays for armor to make the armor look nicer.
Ah, sir, you clearly didn't take geology. The shinier the metal, the hardier it is, and gold is very shiny.
No, I don't think that's how it works. but I don't have that much gold to try your game. If I could just use your forge, that would be great.
Oh yeah, certainly. It's a bit cold. I haven't used it in a few days, but take your time and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll however much time I got, just try and tinker tools my way through some forging of it.
You like making like silver bullets or just normal bullets?
For this last part, I'm gonna use a good part. I have 106 silver pieces, so I want to try and make as many silver bullets as I can out of my money.
I think it's 100 silver for 10 ammunition.
Yeah, if I was buying it, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, I'll use gold, like the gold to pay for it. I just want to use the silver as like the actual, like the silver pieces as the actual material.
This is.
I don't know if that.
Oh yeah, we could do that. We can totally do that. What's the weight of the? Can you like I think your sheet should auto do it.
Bullets
of the silver of that much silver.
106 would be like 2 pounds of silver. I think it's. Hold on, let me check.
Okay, cool. Bullets are pretty low, like 1/10 of a pound. So you have 2.
Yeah, so there's.
You can make 20 silver bullets.
Every 50 pieces is 1 pound.
Every
bullets.
Every silver piece is what?
Every on the sheet, it doesn't matter what it is, copper, electrum, silver, whatever. Everything is or 50 of 1. 50 coins is 1.
Okay. Yeah, so you can make 20 bullets, right? Like 22 bullets.
All right, yeah, I'll do that. I'll make those 22, and then I'll try and make as many. I'm not sure how much time I have or how long it's gonna take. I'll definitely do that first. Make those 22 bullets, and then make as many more as I can out of just like whatever's got around, steel or lead or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Let's do a blacksmith tools check, and to see if you have like any waste.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, I don't have blacksmith.
Oh, tinker's tools. I'm sorry, tinker's tools. No waste at all. No waste at all. They're quite excellently made silver bullets.
And then I'm not sure how long that took, but I'd spend the rest of the time just crafting normal.
Sure.
This is one thing. It hasn't come up a lot in this campaign, so I never really did a lot of research into it.
Yeah, crafting already has super vague rules. We'll say you can make 20 bullets per day.
All right, then those will be the bullets that I made.
Cool.
And then I'll thank them. And
he waves by and suggests if you find any rupees, come back and play his game.
All right.
Might win a heart piece.
A what?
A heart piece.
And then that's it.
Cool. Ninja or Server, do you guys have anything in Krezk you want to take care of?
Not that I can think of.
I would probably spend a little, being my skeletal self. Anytime I ventured out, I'd have to be using spells to kind of hide my appearance. But I would probably be trying to fashion or find some way of more reliably carrying my bird around, other than just in my hand with cloth wrapped around.
Oh yeah.
Like a cage, or something small, something that like I could legitimately carry around, that wasn't like going to be like a huge thing.
Yeah. Roll a d100.
Alrighty.
You want above 30.
Son of a bitch.
No. Okay. You kind of follow Elward into the broken in tinker's shop, and you're looking for something like a bird cage or anything like that, and nothing really stands out. There's a few things that might work as like a perch, but nothing like a bird cage holder or kind of a kennel or anything like that. But you do learn that there's a blacksmith in town, that maybe the blacksmith could forge one for you, or one of your tinkers.
Yeah, I'd probably well, Winrell's off with their clan, right? So I guess I'd probably end up asking Dimitri, tagging along to Dimitri one of the days and asking if he has some idea. And then I guess I could also ask Elward once Elward finally regained his ability to talk again, right? The next day.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Ah, son of a bitch. Okay. Well, I'd probably start with Dimitri, and then I might think to bug Elward later. And once he's cured.
Cool.
I'm not deaf. I could talk. I mean, I'm not deaf. I could listen.
Sorry, what were you asking me? Telling me?
I'd be asking you for like advice on like how to carry my new friend around, being that you're kind of handy.
I mean, there were some sailors around the port of Waterdeep that would just let the bird chill on their shoulder, not necessarily needed anything special. I don't know if your little skeleton bird there would chill out on your shoulder.
Perhaps I will spend some time trying, and then I domesticated bird. There you go. Yeah. I mean, I could ask Elward. I mean, I'm sure as we're spending, it's a whole day, so I'm sure I would eventually probably ask Elward, make my rounds and ask Elward as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you respond to this dilemma, Elward?
You see Elward with a wagon full of junk. He's gonna write down, I am busy, but I can fashion you a cage when I'm done. Or even before then.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. I will curse you and die. Thank you.
Too soon. I already got like 5 curses on.
Yeah, if you ever, anytime you try to undo the beak, the bird immediately kind of gives you that very calm, very nice Morgan Freeman style voice. I will curse you. Dimitri, roll 60-10. Actually, I found what I was going by. You can make 28 bullets today.
All right. Yes, I would have made 22 silver and then 6 normal.
Cool.
If you're gonna wait for me to make a cage, I got a fishing rod. You could tie around your bird. Do like a little leash. But if not, you could just wait for me to make a cage.
I'd probably opt for the cage. I'm guessing this thing isn't too keen on hanging out with me.
Yeah, I don't know how you perceive it. but anyone, a third-party perspective, this bird is trying to bite and get out of its bonds. It looks feral, very feral, and skeletal.
Oh, we're looking Asian, right? This might end very bad. And then you can throw the note onto the wagon and start barreling it up to the.
And for those of you who've seen Nisha with it, like you'll see Nisha, despite its feral nature, still continuing to treat it like sort of coddle it like a little pet bird. But yeah, that's essentially how it's been my day.
Indeed, kind of trying our best to warm up to this new pet and kind of see what kind of living, how we can make it arranged to live with us, or live in a way that it's not incessantly pecking. Cool. And Server, you didn't have anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's go to the big map for a second. So it's about half a day's travel with the routes that you've now, kind of the wild routes that you found to the den and back. You reached the Werewolves Den quite late that night, Winrel. Zuleika kind of greets you at the door. They are at the opening, the mouth of the cave, the great wolf kind of open mouth, the jaws of the den. And she kind of looks at you, quite shocked to see you a bit. Welcome. What brings you back to the den?
I have lots of news. Well, firstly, I'm going to head to Castle Ravenloft soon. And either I will defeat Shroud or perish, or potentially both. I will, of course, look for your mate, as promised. But I couldn't leave you as vulnerable as you are. I have spoke to the Baroness of Krezk, and they will welcome all of you into their town as you are. But I've also discovered I don't know if I want to say cure, but a way to remove our more bestial talents and return to being human. Now, I have provided this to her, and there is additional cures in the lake. Underneath, there's a temple where additional cure could be obtained. I don't know how many people could be cured with what I have already provided. But with that said, I don't intend to take the cure myself. And I certainly wouldn't force it on anyone, but I think some of the children might really want that, and they'd have a chance at a normal life from here on out. There's a lot of families there. We brought children before, and they were adopted and accepted into the family as, as if they were their own. So yeah, that's a lot of information, and I guess, what do you think?
You notice when you mentioned her mate, she kind of seemed to raise her nose up, kind of like in smelling the wind, And as you finish talking, she kind of looks at you. You have done much for the tribe. You are a true mother, a clan of our clan, leader of the pack. What you say is perplexing to those that are true children. It is likely not our way, but the children, those that have been turned, especially those against their own wishes, I'm certain they would be interested in this. Others may be as well. For myself and Emil, if you find him in that dreaded place, this is our ancestral home. I will not leave our home. It is where we belong. But will not abandon what you have set up. I am certain there are those that wish for a life other than this.
Certainly. And if I survive, I plan to return here and live as part of the clan. But it's not sustainable as it is to care for all these children. You know, no one's safe. You can't protect them all. I think this is the only option, especially if neither myself or Emil are able to return.
Perhaps growth is necessary. Maybe I should not see it as leaving home, but as perhaps a short farewell, only to return stronger, as a stronger clan, a stronger pack, and you as our alpha, return from that dreaded place with Emil.
Yes. I hope that is what occurs. Well, please at least consider it for the children that this is not their true nature.
I have considered it, and I think you should say what you have said to the pack. You are alpha, and it'll respect what you wish.
Yes. Okay then.
Yeah, Zuleika.
And for brevity's sake, I'll say basically all the same crap.
Yeah. She'll lead you back to the kind of where all the, and you do see there's like still it's not very many. It's Zuleika and a few of the elderly and quite a few of the youthful, like the pups. Maybe one or two other capable bot adults, but yeah, you definitely see that pretty much almost maybe like if there's like 12 pups, 10 of them all seem very excited at this idea.
Well, I can bring you back with me now, tomorrow, if you would like, if you're prepared, whoever wants to go. And you don't have to take the cure if you go. You can just go and live as part of the town. Um, you know, they'll know who you are and what you are, and you'll be at least protected, if not accepted.
You see, most of them uh, are hesitant, but conditions are pretty rough here, as you suspect, and are open to this as a solution. Some of the older ones, and Zuleika herself, seem a bit hesitant to leave, But after kind of having that prior conversation with Zuleika, she kind of gives them the same assurances that she had to come to as well, that this is not goodbye, but just, or not a permanent leave, but only temporarily. But they pack up most, probably about, I think it's probably about 30 of them total. They pack up and they get ready. They kind of that night they get ready to go and travel with you the next day.
I think this is a very wise decision for the, to protect the lifeblood and continue the pact, ensure that there's a future.
Zuleika agrees. She kind of, when we return, and I, the great whites, they dwell to the north. They may take hold of this place in our absence. We must show them that this is our land when we return. I look forward to those hunts alongside you, Alpha.
That does not concern me. We will handle it when the time comes, with a meal by our side.
She kind of nods. And you see her, she kind of spends the most, after they get ready, spends most of that night in the shrine, kind of praying, it seems, to Mother Night. Yeah, they'll return in the morning. Roll a d20 for me, one real fast. Cool. No random encounters on the way. You're all good. You successfully return to Krezk with quite a few in your pack. You have the next day. It takes you about halfway through the day to get there. So you reach Krezk about midday. But in the meantime, does anyone else want to do anything with that half of the day in Krezk?
I would have done something last night.
Oh yeah, go for it.
This is gonna be interesting because I don't know how it would go, but I'm sure Elrond would. It's gonna be an interesting experience for you and me, Lennon. Okie dokie. So I have a well-built flesh golem. I got a tome of the flesh golem. I have a scroll of call lightning. I got a lot of cool stuff. This will probably be my only chance to ever make a flesh golem work in this or any campaign, so let's go for it.
And you have the knowledge from the laboratory up on the peak. Do you have a way of casting Call Lightning?
I have the 8 call lightning scrolls.
But can you cast them?
Yeah, you just need to make a spellcraft check to cast them. If they're above a level, that he can normally.
Or if anything, I could try Exnesia, but if I fail 1 or 2, then I'll probably stop in Exnesia. But
okay, you could cast. She could cast it then too. Okay, cool. Do you wait for like nighttime to do this, so you get the cool flashy lightning?
yeah, I'm basically reenacting Frankenstein's monster.
And you going for Vasilka?
Yes, if her soul is still inside the flesh golem. If not, then I have something to replace that soul. But if Vasilka is still in there, then I'll use Vasilka.
I know we can see she's gone because she was kind of robbed from her grave. Nothing about that situation was willful.
Alright. I don't know if you gave me this purposely. I don't know if it's even going to work. But in the long of our journey, I was given a memento of Ada, my sister. Filled her memories and reminding me of the times I spent with her, and a little bit of her essence is in there. So I'll put it in the flesh golem.
Oh, the doll. The toy that... Yeah.
Even if it's not truly her, if she at least has her memories and can act and talk like my sister, then it's fine enough, even though it's not really her.
My goodness. What a culmination of events. Roll a d8.
Nice.
Oh, nice. All right. As you kind of splay out all of your devices and the neatly made flesh golem, you page through the book, make notes of all your mental notes and all the travel, and you bring together the scrolls. You kind of put the memento of your sister down on the table, on the work table, kind of the loving memory of it. You begin to cast the first call lightning, and a huge bolt of white lightning pierces the mist-covered sky and shoots through, maybe like cracks through the hole in the ceiling. Do you have something, Serva?
And I think our Discord was messing up.
Oh, okay. The white lightning cracks through and strikes into the flesh golem. It's so bright and so intense that you have to look away. And as the light kind of begins to fade, the white energy, you see this just black, kind of obsidian-looking carcass of sorts sitting on the table. And then it begins to kind of, maybe you kind of like go to like touch it a little bit, and you wipe away this very smooth cluster of ashes that just seem to be crystallized, but it just wipes off. And beneath it is a moving, breathing flesh golem of your own creation, resembling Ada, but stitched up in flesh golem.
Yeah, we're tears up a little as he's never been this emotional before. Yeah, and he maniacally laughs as Frankenstein would, but no voice comes out.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, and then for dramatic effect, I'll end my night there and decide what I do from there for, I guess, next session.
Yeah, we can work on a token and everything in the stat sheet.
I obviously didn't know it was gonna work.
If you'd have tried it at the temple, the laboratory would have worked with all the. You could have animated that one. That was all ready to go. That had like a vestige of Sergei in them. But I didn't even think about you preserving Fasilka for this reason. But yeah, it totally makes sense. That was the missing component is a well-created flesh golem with a soul. Wow. Okay. I think we should call it right there, as we reanimate a semblance of Ada.
Now she can punch things.
And is real scared of fire.
Yep. It was a good break session. Very good before we head off to the camp.
What?
Because I assume, now that that's what we're gonna be doing soon, which is looking forward to that. Unless we're gonna go find Ismar.
Yeah, I prepped my spells.
Well, I think Ismark should be on the way. I think the windmill's on the way to Ravenloft, Castle Ravenloft. So.
That's fair.
Like if you look at the road, we literally pass right by the windmill.
I mean, you guys could always go check out that mysterious stuff around Lake Zarafoch, the creature of the lake, and those missing children, and the fishermen, and the mad mage.
Surprise!
Or grind wolves for 10 sessions.
Do the South Park episode where they grind level 1 boars for
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
a whole year.
This,
See nothing but hot pockets.
this campaign takes an entire extra year. This Strahd's just waiting in Castle Ravenloft.
It takes a year, but we clear Barovia of all wildlife.
The population. We've become who's the real monster now. Anything to get that level 20 bread. Yeah, that's a very good arc to see finally come circle for Elward. It seems like everyone's getting stuff pretty resolved.
Gotta get all our ducks in a row, except for Nisia's sister situation. So
That might be coming up soon. Never know.
we shall see.
Yeah, that one's probably or potentially like a Ravenloft reveal. We'll see.
That and whatever happened to the other green lady, but we'll never know. Or we will, who knows?
We shall
Sad.
see.